So it has come to my attention that the revolutionary communist, Carl Dix, had called for overthrowing the government, and people in his revolution club had called for overthrowing the government. They discussed this, and it was caught on camera. This was done in Charlottesville right after the incident. I believe it was on Sunday, the day after the incident. So I thought that I would show that on my channel.
Okay, we've just been joined by Carl Dix. Carl Dix is a representative of the Revolutionary Communist Party. Together with Cornel West, he founded the Stop Mass Incarceration Network. Carl Dix was dragged out of the Jeff Sessions hearing at the time of the inauguration for standing up and saying no Trump, no KKK, no fascist USA. And Carl Dix goes all the way back to the 1960s as a revolutionary fighter for the people. He's an advocate for the new synthesis of Bob Avakian, and he's here in Charlottesville, and he's been here the last couple days to be with everybody here and to oppose the white supremacist fascist movement that's hit here and moving all over the country. Here's Carl Dix.
Wow. All right, the first thing that I want to say is, look, this gray ain't fake. I've been around a while. I've had confrontations with the Ku Klux Klan before. And I will tell you, Charlottesville did itself well this weekend. These old Cluckers and the new Cluckers coming together with the Nazis said they were coming here to spew out their poison. And folks said, hell no. We ain't letting it go down. And that's what we need to say. Because this is poison that has oozed through the foundations of this country from the very beginning. When they dragged African people to these shores in slave chains, when they exterminated the native inhabitants, and it continued all the way through. But we have to be clear. These Nazi, fascist, white supremacist thugs coming out is because of an atmosphere that's being whipped up from the very top. The Trump-Pence regime is creating an atmosphere that's calling this forth. And it's one of the streams of ugly reaction that it is using in a drive to enforce fascist rule in America. Don't tell me it can't happen here. Hitler studied what this country did to black people to put together his plan for implementing fascism in Germany. It has happened here. It's coming back, and it's coming back on steroids. And we have to say, no, it is not.
That's right. That's right.
Not just driving the Klan, the Nazis, and the other white supremacist scum out of Charlottesville, which you did do, including this other new clucker, couldn't even do a press conference. That was on time. We got to go forward from here to get at the roots of this. Because this shit is rooted in this capitalist imperialist system. And it points to why we need a revolution. And that's what the Revolutionary Communist Party is all about. We're organizing for that at the soonest possible time. And right now, wherever you coming from, whatever you think about revolution, you got to see that this Trump-Pence fascist regime is out to impose unimaginable horrors. And we must drive it from office. We can't wait for the Democrats to do it because they want to keep the same system together that Trump and his fascists do. That is not good for the people. We got to drive it from office. Refuse Fascism has called for November 4th to be the beginning of the end of the Trump-Pence nightmare. For people to come into the streets on November 4th and stay in the streets, day after day, night after night. Like people did in South Korea when they drove out a president there. Like happened in Egypt and in other places. We have to do this. It is up to us to end this nightmare for the people of this country and for all of humanity. Because Trump is up there talking about going to war with North Korea and fire and fury like the world has never known. He's talking about nuclear weapons, people. That is not good for the planet that we live on, and there ain't no planet B. We cannot let these motherfuckers run the planet roughshod as they run humanity roughshod. November 4th, go to the website refusefascism.org or revcom.us get hooked in, get organized. There are going to be regional conferences. I think the closest one to here is going to be New York City. Get in touch with that, get involved with it, send up representatives, and bring it back down here and spread this. We have to stop this poison.
Yes.
Because this poison is surging, it's being whipped up from the top, and we can't let it go down. Thank you, sisters and brothers.
But I'm inspired to say off of what he was talking about. Because the spirit that he's talking about is exactly what we need. The spirit of defiance, the spirit of we're not going to lay down for this, the spirit of they can't just come through and beat people down and carry out their violence and get away with that. That we got to put our bodies on the line to stand up against that and to stop it. And yes, people have a right to defend themselves.
Say her name! Heather!
Heather! So I want to say this, but I want to go further off of what this brother said, because we're in a position right now where if we just go off and try to get in a gun battle with these people, we're not going to get very far. Here's what we need. What we actually need is we need to get organized for a real revolution to overthrow their whole system.
Right on.
What?
I'm in the Revolution Club, and that's what we're getting organized to do.
That's what we need.
This person on my t-shirt, his name is Baba Bakian. Baba Bakian leads the Revolutionary Communist Party. Baba Bakian is leading the revolution right now. There's a plan. We have a plan for how to defeat them. And I'm not talking about how to defeat a couple Nazis in Charlottesville. I'm talking about how to defeat their whole system. They have military forces. They have a whole mighty power that they unleash on people all over the world. All of that is going to have to be defeated to uproot this capitalist system that spawns Trump and Pence, that unleashes white supremacy. When you got a white supremacist system, it's not a surprise that you got a bunch of white supremacists running around. If we're going to put an end to that, we got to put an end to that system. So what I'm telling everybody here is now is the time to organize forces for an actual revolution. And Baba Bakian, he's a communist. And what he's done is he's developed a new communism. He's looked at the experience of people fighting all over the world and the understanding people have developed, bringing this forward all over the world to get all of humanity free. Not one country over another, not one people over another. Uproot all oppression and get all of humanity free. That's the work that Baba Bakian has done. That's the science that he's developed. There's a strategy for revolution that we've developed on that, and everybody needs to get this newspaper and get a copy of the outline of that strategy, which is in this paper called Revolution. There's a constitution that Baba Bakian has written for a new socialist republic. We got a constitution. So that when we're in a position, when millions are ready to put their lives on the line, when millions of people are ready to fight, this system can be overthrown and a new constitution can be put in place. This work has been done. This plan exists. And we're organizing for that now. Look, what we saw this weekend is the outlines of a civil war. We're not yet in a civil war, but these are the outlines of it, and how it shapes up and where it goes depends on us and depends on us now. We need to get organized for revolution that can fight in the interest of all of humanity getting free. And you are needed for that. And people should come up and talk to me through this, after this. Give me a way to reach you. Get organized. Join the Revolution Club.
Hey, let the man talk.